This is my walking horse mare, Macchiato. She is 9 years old, and she's had a couple years off. She had a couple of foals, and I decided to, like I said, she's 9. I did not start this mare, so, and I think she's got some serious holes in her foundation. And you can see she's really bothered. She should not be bothered like this with us, okay? She's a very sensitive horse, very sensitive. And this horse is the mother to Ed's Cup of Joe and Ed's Morning Latte. And Joe is one that you'll see some videos out there, Ed's Cup of Joe. And also Latte. Eric's worked with her a lot. But Joe shuts down very easily and rapidly. What I mean by that is, like, when if a horse feels it's like trapped, when it can't get away, it'll either fight or, just panic, or they can recede into themselves kind of and pretend, like I like to say, like they pretend they're not there, okay? So that's how they cope with the excess stimulation that they're getting, whatever that be. And that could be just sounds, proximity, could be anything. I mean, horses are can be really sensitive, and then they also are what I call like geniuses with reading body language and stuff. But anyhow, just me following her. Good girl. Now I'm going to turn and walk away a little bit. Now I'll turn the camera so you can see what she's doing. She's just standing there. Okay, so I turned and walked away. Now I'm turning back. I got my hand on the camera. So that's the first step. If you notice, if you rewind the video, you'll see that she was looking out the whole time she was going around. So she was just trying to think, I really don't want to be in here. Okay, I really don't want to be in here. I really don't want to be in here. So my goal here is to help her to answer some questions she might have in a positive way, like about me. Like she might be, I don't know what she's thinking, but she's nervous and scared or whatever, okay? So through my actions and just my demeanor and how I'm going to move her around and interact with her, I'm going to hopefully be able to show her that she doesn't have to worry about me at all, okay? So, and what happens with horses like this that may shut down easily, okay? The thing about them is they can look super broke and super trained and just super chill and super gentle. And then when they come to, they can lose their absolute mind, okay? Like, because they're not there, and then something brings them back to reality, they can just absolutely lose it, okay? And that's what she'll do. And when I bought her, the video, they're climbing all over and everything. You couldn't tell that she was shut down in the video, okay? And so I'm going to try to do the find out where the holes are in her foundation. I'm sure she's got them. It says she's raising her head and everything, just with me moving my hand a little bit, okay? But as she brought her head down, good. I'll tell her, good. Now I'm just going to see what she do. I'm going to approach her and just touch her on the forehead. A lot of times people want to rub on them and love on them and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, horses don't do a lot of that with themselves. They're more standing in proximity, maybe their muzzles close together, sniffing each other, just standing in proximity. And they'll mutually groom on their withers, like both chew on each other's necks and stuff like that. But they don't, unless they're roughhousing and playing like colts, you know, doing the mock battle. They don't do a lot of just, you know, not like dogs that are all over each other. You know what I mean? They're not like that. And so kind of resist the urge if you can. When your horse interacts with you and reaches out and sniffs you, that's kind of telling you that it's okay for you to interact with them, you know, touch them or whatever. But so I'm just going to touch her in the forehead, like I said. Now see how she raised her head like that? Alarmed. So I just see how she raised her head that whole time, and I just touched her on the forehead. That's how unsure she is of me. You know, so interesting. So now I'm just going to move her a little bit this way. Come on, girl. And I'm doing this at liberty with her. And if you watch my video with Ed's Cup of Joe, I'm working with him at liberty too. The reason being is when they feel stressed, like they're getting to the limit of what they can handle, they will just walk off or move off or step back or walk away or anything like that. When you have a lead rope on them, see, she did it again. So I'm going to turn and take a couple steps back. Turn away. That is the biggest release I can give her. Okay, so what's going on there is she's learning that her actions and reactions can cause me to do certain things, certain behaviors. So, you know, ease up the pressure. Like, hey, I got you. I understand what you had a hard time with that, so I'm turning and walking away. Now, see, she took a step for me, two little steps towards me. That's a really good sign. So I'm going to kind of mosey up to her, and excuse me, I have my head kind of down. I'm just kind of like slowly, nonchalantly ambling up. I'm going to let her smell me. I'm just going to touch her on the forehead. Good. See, I touched her. Good girl. Now I'm going to walk away. All right. So then I'll just move her off a little bit. Now I'm just, see my hands, I'm pointing with this hand, and I'm just giving her a little bit of pressure with this, okay? See how they'll turn like that. This is how sensitive this horse is. They're very, very sensitive. Good girl. There. And so I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to, see, I just looked at her like that. Good. Good. But you can hear how she's kind of, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but she's kind of sucking in air, snorting like that, where they kind of, like it's like an inward, like they suck in and they make that noise. That is a very nervous, they're nervous when they're doing that, okay? Now, the opposite, when they blow out, when they go, you know, that is blowing out stress. That's relieving stress. So she's got this pretty good here. You see. Now, okay, I want to point this out. Watch that hind leg. See how she's stepping? Okay, see how she's stepping. Watch that. Watch that again. This is really important. This is a subtle thing you want to pick up on. See how she's doing that. There, she crossed under. Good. Okay, what she was doing, I'm going to show you my feet here. What she was doing when I pointed at her rear end, instead of going like this and stepping underneath herself, which is a vulnerable position for her to be in, she went like this. She stepped like this and like this and like this and like this. And any time in this position, she can take off, okay? It's like someone in a basketball stance or something, where she's ready to move out. So she is not comfortable. She still thinks there could be danger. So she's going like this, so she could, when she's like here, she could jump out. When she's here, she could jump out, when she's just ready, okay? So that's important. So what I'm going to do, I wanted to show you that. So what I want to do is do this, and there, she stepped under. Good. And so here, watch her again. See, that's not stepped under. That's not stepped under. That's not. That's not. Now she's walking off. See, so that little bit was too much, so I'm just gonna, I'll move her a little bit. Okay, it doesn't take a lot, because this, like I said, this horse is sensitive. I don't want to get her really super wound up, but see how she's looking out there? See how she's looking out? You know, she's telling me what her thoughts are, and her thoughts are, I don't want to be in here. I want to be out there. I want to be comfortable with my friends or whatever. And this kind of stuff, you say, well, why don't you just leave her alone? Well, this is something I can fix, and I can help her feel comfortable around people. And evidently she was overexposed, or, you know, like they kind of like ambushed her, did some stuff, maybe we call it betrayed them, you know, did some things that were just overexposure. Sometimes you don't even know, because the horse, you know, sometimes it's hard to tell, you know, what they're doing, and, you know, when you first start. But I don't know, I wasn't there, so I'm just saying, there you go, good. So she looks, so I'm trying to walk away. Now I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna try to get there. She took a step towards me. That's good. Good. Good girl. Good girl. See, if I would have stayed in that position and faced her, she wouldn't have felt comfortable to move into my space. You know. So okay, here, so we're gonna do it again. I got to get to the side that we're gonna do it on, which is this side. Okay, so let's see. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's still sucking in weird and, you know, tense. So I'm just going to point at her rear end. Look at it. There you go. Good. That time she stepped under her body. So that was good. Good. So now I'm going to go over to this side. I'm going to try it a little bit this side. There, see, she stepped under herself that time. So if you can watch this. There she didn't. So I'm still pointing. There she didn't. There she didn't. See how she's still in that ready stance? So, and you know, this is a big thing actually. Being able to pick up on this. Like stepping, and then she just walked off. So I'm gonna drive her off a little bit. And this is what another horse would do. In let's just say out in nature, out in the wild, horses, okay? Say there's a big, huge herd of horses. The horses, how I understand it, horses they'll be, say there's a herd of 200 horses somewhere, and there's stallions running in with them and everything. Well, those things and I don't know the exact number, but a stallion can manage a certain amount of mares, like, because he can only defend so many, you know, from another challenging stallion, and it just gets too wily. So these herds these little smaller family groups there, good. They kind of separate out and hang together, and then as the daylight starts to shorten, and they group together as a big herd and they move like that. But if you hear her breathing too, she's still doing that breathing. So now I'm going to repeat this, come up to her. And you see how my pace is like real easy. Now I'm not sneaking, I'm just easy. Yep, she walked off again. See, so this is similar. She's so well gated. This is similar to how Joe is sensitive on or wants to keep me in his left side. Horses, you really have to work both sides of their brain. because their eyes are on the side of their head. I don't know why exactly, but you really do have to work both sides of the brain, because it's like it's almost two separate horses. And sometimes people will even say that you have two horses you're training in one, you know. But I don't know if you can hear her, she's tense, okay? So I'm gonna try here again. See, she stepped, but she's not stepping under. See, she's ready to run. See, can you see her? I don't know if you can hear her breathing too. Hear her breathing, how hard she's breathing? There you go. Now, see, if I put a halter on her, here, I'll show you. Yeah. I'll show you how she'll settle right down, and it's kind of deceiving. Okay, now grab the halter. I'll show you this, it's interesting. Well, she might not even make this easy. I thought she would just be easy. Let me see what she's gonna do. Hi girl, how you doing? See, so I'm just kind of like, just kind of walking up to her, like not sneaking, no big deal. How you doing? Let her smell me. Hi. Touch her right here. This is the friendship spot on a horse. This is where they mutually groom each other, right there in the withers. See that right here? Okay, so I'll put this on her. I'll show you. And the whole point of this is not to get that behavior, stepping under. I mean, I do want to get that, okay, but that's not the thing. I want to get to her mind, okay? And that's just a symptom or I don't know, that's not the right word, but a indicator where her mind is, okay? So now if I hold on to this and go like this, see, I can get her to step under. No, she's still doing it, see? There, she stepped under, good. Okay, but she's not cool about this yet. So there, see, this is our cues. See, so she's stepping under herself right now, which is good, but the whole time she's doing that, look at her eyes. Can you see her eyes? How, you see the whites on them and everything? She's nervous. So, like what I was gonna say is I could have her like this, and typically with a horse, I would just throw this rope all over and everything, but she'll shut down, and it won't be really changing her mind. She'll just be dealing with it. And so part of this, her nervousness now and everything, is that she kind of dreads this. You know what I mean? She's putting up with it because she's a sweet, gentle horse. She's not a mean horse or anything, but she's just thinks like, okay, now I'm in here, now I got to deal with this. And my whole point is to teach her that, hey, you don't have to worry about anything. This is good. This is a good deal. I got a good deal here. You don't have to worry about it. Nothing's going to happen to you. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to up it a little bit here just to see. I'm going to take this stick and string and I'm going to let her sniff it. Okay, so she's leery of this, okay? It's just because it's something she hadn't seen, okay? So now I'm just going to hold it like this, and I am moving like a turtle, okay? I'm not drilling my eyes into her, like staring at her, like burning holes through her or anything. I'm just kind of like lazy, just moving. I'm telling her right now, you shouldn't be running, but she doesn't know this, okay? She just thinks like, that's what I'm saying, she's just kind of like on autopilot. She's looking out there, that's where her mind is. And so now she's looking there a little bit. Now she's gonna run. So what she needs to do, so you see I'm not doing anything with this. So this little proximity of this here, like this, has got her thinking this is what she wants to do. If any one of those panels weren't there, what do you think she would do? She'd head right out, right? She'd go somewhere to one of those pastures or something. That's where her mind is. She'd go right out there and run in with those horses there. And now, good. Now, you notice how just before that she started to lick and stuff. And that shows that there's something going on with her immune system, or not immune system, her nervous system, where she's coming down from it, and it's like coming down from a heightened state. You see that? Hear that? See? Now I like that she's lowered her head. Good. And I'm just going to walk away. Now even when I started to walk away, she raised her head. And that's just movement. Like when I talk about pressure and stuff, pressure can be movement, speed, sound, proximity, energy, numbers of things. It's not just physical touch pressure. Okay, it's just not that. So now I'm going to hold this up to her, see if I can get her to sniff it. Ooh, she took a step towards it, sniffs it. I'm going to take it away. Tell her, good. I'm going to turn away. Now, she already walked off. So I'm saying, this is how sensitive this horse is. Now, the thing with a horse like this, you can manhandle them and just say, knock it off you, you know, and or whatever. And you could probably get a decent compliance out of it. But it's not going to let go whatever it's afraid of. It's just going to think, this is what I have to deal with when I'm around people or this person or that person. And see how she's looking out. So there she turned. Good. I'm going to turn and walk away. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to turn just so you can see her. And now see, she dropped her head a little bit. These are things you want to look for, okay, when you're training your horse. These kind of things, I mean, a lot of my videos are kind of like watching paint dry. But honestly, that's a lot of horse training is like that. Did you notice how she dropped her head? Good girl. Good girl. Now I'm going to walk up to her and see if she does. I'm just trying, you know, I'm not walking like with purpose. I'm just kind of meandering up to her. Meander up to her. I'm just going to put my hand down here, and I don't go and touch her. I let her come and touch me. Hear her snuffing? Good. You want to get good. You want to see this? Now I'm going to take a step back because I don't even want to raise that. It'd be too close. I'm going to raise the stick and string. I'm just going to hold it up. I don't know if you can see. I'm just holding it up here. Okay, I'm just holding it up. Now, what is that? Nothing. I mean, it's just something different. Horses are prey animals and herd animals, and I think they have like a photographic memory. I don't know if that's the right word, but they have like an incredible memory, and they notice things that are odd, something different, something missing that was there, something that wasn't there that is there, like a shadow, a dark thing, whatever. And so they'd rather just get out of Dodge than chance it. Okay, so that's what she's doing here. So just holding this up, I'm not even moving it. And I'm just turning. I like a turtle, honestly. And look at, now she's going to come. Good. So I turn and walk away. That, me saying good like that she'll start to associate that with a release. So she dropped her head a little bit and dropped her head again. Good. 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 That's a good girl. Yeah. Good. So now I'm going to lift it up again. I'm not even going to move. I'm guessing 25 feet from her, maybe 30 feet. And I raised it up. It's just sitting straight up. Now I'm just going to walk towards her and try to find out. I'm trying to find out where her nervousness bubble is. There you go. Good. But hear her breathing. She's snorting in. And I've given her no reason. I mean, I'm not asking her to move, okay? Now, when you first start working with a horse, they don't know that. They just move, you know. But really, they're super smart, and they pick up things really quickly. I'm going to keep walking. And what I'm going to try to do is just touch her on the forehead with it. Now, hear her breathing. Look at her head, how high her head is. Look at her eyes. She couldn't take it. She's walking off. Okay, so I'm going to keep it up. And I'm just going to, I'm making a real small circle here. I'm, you know, barely moving. And her mind's out there. Her mind's out there. She's just thinking, I want out, I want out, I want out, I want out. And I'm just going to wait for her, and you kind of see like when she'll come to. There, she started to look in here. She sees that, she looked in, saw that I'm still holding it up. I mean, she can see me in her right eye there. So here she is. She's just chugging along here. Good. Now I put it down and I take a couple steps away. Turn it, took a couple steps away, 3 steps, and I'm just standing here. Good. You see how she gave her head that shake? I think it's like shaking out some of the cobwebs. She's like, oh, like, ooh, oh, that was rough, you know. And, you know, it's nothing. So sometimes people get a horse like this and they just, because they can kind of manhandle it around because she's, you know, gentle, they end up never getting through to this. And then when things get too much pressure, they just blow. So I'm going to raise it up again. Here we go. Now I brought it down to total release. Now I'm going to walk towards her. I'm going to reach out and try to touch her on the forehead with this. See if I can. Nope. I couldn't get close enough. See how she just walked off? So I'm going to hold it up. I have not changed anything. And I'm just going to keep facing her. Because that was pressure. She felt like, oh, I got to go. I got to go. And you think, what the heck? That's nothing. And you're right. It's not a big deal. And she's, you know, really worried about it. So if I can get this kind of stuff worked out, this will change. This will have like a cascading effect over all her training and everything she does. If I can find out where and fix, like patch up or fix the issues that she has. And this is one. She just doesn't trust that, you know, people, I guess, or doesn't trust that, or maybe she's anticipating being scared or something. I don't know exactly, but there, good. So I turn and walk away. So I wasn't counting, but I think it was, she walked around twice in a circle. So now she's off again. I'm going to raise the thing up again because she's walking off. I'm going to see how many laps she'll do. There's one. All right, we're approaching 2 here. There's 2. Good. Whoop. All right, now she did that. I'm going to do something here. Okay. The thing too, like sometimes, okay, you might ask yourself, why am I doing this? I'll explain it here in a second. Sometimes horses will start to punk you, kind of, you know, like, good girl. So I'm going to turn and walk away. They'll kind of, you know, she was walking off for not a good reason, okay? And what a stallion would do in that situation is he might bow his neck, do the snaking thing, and get all like collected and, you know, snorty and everything like this, and maybe chase them a little bit. I've seen them try to bite them and everything. Like they get to a point where they go knock it off, you know, and that kind of gets through to them too. So that's why I did that. It was kind of like a little bit of knock it off. I gave you a good deal. You're overacting. Okay, but you just see, I mean, I didn't have to do much anything, you know. So now I'm going to walk up to her again and see here. Let her sniff this. Let's see if she'll let me do this without her. Nope. Okay. So I'm basically saying, if you want to run off, then run off. But we're going to put some more energy in it. Okay. Come on, you keep going. See how she was already thinking of stopping. So now I'm going to change. She's been thinking of running. So now I'm going to get her to run. Keep her running. Past where her mind starts saying, I would like to stop. I would like to stop. Boy, I wish I could stop. She's not there yet because she's still looking out there. Okay? So I want to change her mind. So let her explore running. You want to run? Okay, go ahead. And it's important to not start this like this right at the beginning, because then the horse can just think, oh, that's what they want me to do. I come in the round pen and I run. Okay? But I'm trying to get to her mind. She's starting to think about stopping. Nope, keep going. There you go. Good. And this also, just so you know, horses feel good when they run. When they run away from a threat or something, they feel good. They feel like, oh, good, I'm getting away, you know? And so this is not a negative per se, but they get to a point where she'll start to get a little tired or something, or she'll say, oh, that's enough. And I just say, no. And then she'll go, oh my gosh, I got to listen to Ed. Oh, okay. All right, so I'll keep going. And that's what I'll see if she wants to stop again. I'm just going to keep her going. Tell her. And this time, when I go to touch her, she might be a little bit more inclined to, you know, accept it, because she thinks otherwise she's going to have to run. And this is what another horse would do with him. I watch my horses interact all the time, the stallions and stuff. And good. You see how she took a couple steps in. So now I'm going to touch her, try to touch her, see what she does, see where her mind is. And again, I just move up nice. Nope, she moved off. Okay. And I'm just cracking the ground. See how her mind's over there? So she ain't ready. She ain't ready for this. I'm going to keep doing, just going to find out when her mind changes. Keep going. See how her head, she's looking out? This is important to understand. That's where her mind is. Good girl. This horse is so nicely gaited. Yeah, good girl. Good. And see, even this, though, is a little bit like, see how she's staring out and everything? It's a little bit like checking out, you know, because her mind is out there, you know. Not at all. And sometimes with a horse like this, you'll have to, if they just keep looking out, you might have to reach out and touch them on the rear end with something, or get it close to where they think like, oh gosh, I better focus on this guy. He's going to get my rear end. Because that's what they'll do. They bite each other, and they get them thinking about, like, you need to think about me and what I'm asking. So, and they'll pass manure like that. That's a part of, you know, when they're fleeing. I've heard scientists say it's like, you know, maybe like a you know, lighten the load kind of thing. Hey, good. So she looked at me, so I'm going to turn and walk away. Good. Took 3 steps away. looking at her. She's still, yeah. Good. And I look away. See, she's just, she's having a hard time. But this is not something that you don't take a horse like this and cover him with foam or pillows and try to protect them and, and put, I mean, just like make their whole environment like this, unicorns and rainbows. You got to kind of go back to like, what would another horse do? They wouldn't give 2 seconds thought about any of that stuff. If the horse approached them too quick, they'd bite them, kick them, move them out, chase them away. They wouldn't have any hesitation at all. And so you kind of remember what works with them and how they like to, what makes sense to them. There you go. Good. You want to sniff this? Maybe sniffing it? Maybe sniffing it? Now you can see how this is, you can see by working her at liberty like this, you can see that she doesn't want to be touched by this. She doesn't want it close to her. Want any of that. And now, normally you'd have them in a halter and a lead rope, and I just would start flinging this over her. And the reason I'm not doing that is because this horse shuts down really quickly, like I said in the beginning of the video. And so I'm trying to fix it, help her come to terms with her fear, but without her shutting down. Okay? So I'm going to reach here and see if she'll smell this. So I'll just take a step towards her here. Can you smell? Good. I took it away. Now see how she just, look at her. She just turned and went away. And I got that thing away pretty quickly and still wasn't fast enough to get it away. So I'm going to move her. Okay, now I'm going to change some directions with her because I just want her to start thinking about, she needs to think about me. Okay, now I'm going to change directions with her. So I just cut the circle. You notice there, I don't know if the camera caught that or not, but she turned facing out with her rear end towards me. That's an important thing to notice. Just, it also lets you know that she's not comfortable facing me. She'd rather have her, which is her defense, and part of her offense too is her rear end kicking. She wanted to have that towards me. Okay. So I'm going to take this and try to, I don't know if you can see it or not, try to get it between her and the rail so that maybe she'll turn with her head into the inside here. Because I don't want to keep her doing that. I want her to experience her turning like that without her seeing that there's nothing to worry about. Here, snorting. Good. Now she's actually touching it. She's touched it like 3 times with her, 4 times, 5 times with her nose. There you go. Good. Now, I would have liked her just to walk off, but she didn't kick up as much dust as she did the last time she went away. So I'm not going to run her off this time. I'm going to approach her. I'm going to come this way. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to try to get her to turn the other way, again with her nose in. Now it's going to be a little harder because you see how her rear end is kind of, it's kind of like turned into the center. So it's a little hard. She's already kind of setting herself up to turn that way with her rear end towards me. So I'm gonna kind of like hug the side of the rails here, and I'm trying to I'm putting the stick and string between the rail and her, and let her sniff it. touch it, and good. Now take it away. See, that time it worked. I got it before she did anything. So I'm going to take it up here, let her sniff it again. I'm taking it away. Good. So she can start to learn, like, hey, I can control my environment a little bit. You gonna sniff it? Good. Keep taking it away. Horses are real curious, and if you can work with their curious, see how she's licking? So her nervous system is rebalancing or resetting itself. There you go. Don't take it away. I think she's still going to turn that way. No, I got her. Good. Going to walk off. Good. She didn't walk off, but she didn't kick up dust either, so that wasn't too bad. So I'm going to keep doing this with her. I'm going to just keep doing this with her, and I'll start recording again when I get some sort of breakthroughs. But this is Macchiato. I'm Ed. My YouTube channel is Ed's Walking Horses, if you see this on Facebook. And our website's walkinghorses.com. And we're doing something different here. We're training, breeding, raising, and training our walking horses to be great saddle horses and bridle horses. We train and are students of the vaquero tradition of horsemanship, which I think is one of the best Western traditions out there. It trains the horses to ride off your seat, body, legs, your skeleton, primarily. And it seems like horses really like it. So, and the walking horses are turning out to be really well suited for it. They have a good conformation for it, where they have a real high head carriage, and they have a lot of they have a workhorse mentality, but they have kind of they've got a lot of get up and go. They got a motor to them. You know, they can get really animated and get real active. So they're kind of cool like that for ranch work. Anyhow, this is Macchiato. I'm Ed. Thanks for watching. Should people subscribe? They should. Hey, smash that like button and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.